Hi, Chris Cameron here, and I thought rather than look at my face the way the light is right now, you might enjoy looking at the city as I drive to work. Today, I want to talk to you about, hold on just a second. Okay. Today, I want to talk to you about impulse buying. And a lot of you might not know what this term is. It's a term in retail that you have items for sale by the cash register. So that way, if you're waiting to check out, you might see something interesting and buy it on impulse or buy it with quick or little thought. Often they're handy items that people want. They also could be items that people want but are kind of crappy. It could be tabloids, it could be sunglasses, it could be chewing gum's a favorite one, or some kind of breath thing so that you smell nice for people you're around. And so these are called impulse items, and in a retail store. And impulse shopping can often be triggered by events, like you might be shopping for one thing, but due to some circumstance you find out about, you decide that you want to look at something else because, after all, it's a good buy, it's promoted, buy one, get one free. There could be a financial reason to do it. But impulse buying basically means buying with little thought, little planning, little research. Often they're smaller items, but not necessarily. Like if you go to buy a car, you don't say, my wife could use a new car, I think I'll just buy two. That's an outrageous example of something that probably wouldn't happen with impulse buying. They don't say, if you buy a second one, we'll give you 10% off of your negotiated price. That doesn't happen that way. So it's not normally bigger items. So what is the point of talking about impulse buying? Well, impulse buying can really add to how much money you spend over a year. And it might turn out that it's stuff you don't really, like you wouldn't purchase normally. Like you wouldn't say, you're sitting at home, I've got to hop up and go buy a so-and-so, a tabloid. Or I've got to hop and buy, I want to find out what's happening with this particular Hollywood star. I want to know, The chances that are unlikely, although some people really have that as a hobby, but, they wouldn't necessarily need to say, I've got to go and buy chewing gum like right now. So, that's something to be on the kind of the lookout for. So you want to give an extra second or two or an extra minute of consideration that do you want to buy that item here? And it can even be a toy or a keychain or something that you would keep for a while, not a disposable item. So you want to think, could I buy that elsewhere? Would I ever think to buy it elsewhere? So you want to give it some thought. And that's what's nice about kind of being in control of your financial life, is that you tend not to buy as many impulse items. I'm not saying there's something on the rack that you will, that there won't be something on the rack that you need. But a lot of people, when they buy one thing, they tend to blow the rest of the, quote, 20, like I broke it, so now it's gone. And, you can't change. It's a mathematical process. Some people say, I just leave the change and, or I donate it. And that's fine if that's their donation plan. But I know people that keep the change in a glass jar and then they cash it in periodically, and then they use that money as a way to buy something that they wouldn't ordinarily buy, which is fine. Some people actually use it to save for car payments if they keep all the singles together when they're spending cash. They make a payment with it. Anyway, with impulse buying, you just want to give it the thought that it deserves, just like any other purchase, and decide if that maybe that's not the best place to buy it. So that's what I want to talk about today. Just, still use your critical thinking skills, even if you see an impulse item that you wouldn't ordinarily buy. Okay? So we will see you next time. Thank you for listening. Hi, Chris Cameron here. I was just driving to work and thought the scenery might be nice. Rather than looking at me, I'm in the shadows, so I don't show up very good on camera right now. That I'm heading west, away from the sun, and in the morning. And so I wanted to come and talk to you today about the time value of money, and the time value of money, and what it means to you. What happens with money is that if you have an investment or some kind of a savings plan, not with a savings account in a bank, but some sort of investment, the time value of money really adds up over time due to something called compound interest. And if you set a little money aside 5 years before your retirement and set aside, you won't have very much saved up by the time you retire. But if you start at age 30 or even at age 20 and hopefully make it till, say, 60 or 70, when you're talking 40, 50 years, now the time value of money really multiplies. You will make so much more to retire on. And the thing is that by taking out a small bit, you don't really notice it so much. Some people prefer some kind of automatic withdrawal from their account or their paycheck, however it's going. And this is a little less painless for some people. Some people, if they have cash, they kind of have a hard time holding on to it. That's why, taxes are taken out of your paycheck, because if you would actually save money if you could keep all your tax money and just pay it at once. But who's going to come up with that kind of money if it's, kind of hard to hold on to, which in general it is. So anyway, I just want to talk about the time value. Compound interest makes a big difference too in that. Also, rates change over the years. Right now we're in kind of we're in a pretty bad economic state. It's gotten a tiny bit better, but unless things change, I don't expect it to change, if that makes sense. But since I've had money invested for years, the outlook for me is a little bit better. Quite a bit better. So, anyway, I just wanted to let you know, when you're talking about the time value of money and investing, it makes a big difference in the long run. Time is on your side when you do that. So just wanted to mention that and let you know about that, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you for listening.